Hey everybody, as you can see here, I have the 5-minute Marvel stories with me. And today I am going to tell you one of the stories, Spiderman versus the Sinister Six. It's the story of how one superhero takes on 6 super villains. Peter Parker had just dropped off some photos at the Daily Bugle when a special bulletin ran across the television in the newsroom. "This is just in!" the news report blared. "The evil group known as the Sinister Six has taken over Lower Manhattan. Spider-Man, if you are out there, we need your help." But Peter was already out the door. "This looks like a job for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man," he said to himself as he changed into his famous Spidey costume. Spider-Man swung high above the streets of New York City at great speed. "I have to stop the Sinister Six. I fought each member before, but never all of them at the same time." So, then it hit Spider-Man. To defeat the Sinister Six, he'd have to fight each member one at a time. Spider-Man was downtown in minutes and soon met with his first challenge. Just down the street were 2 large cats circling a man who wore a lion's pelt, Kraven the Hunter. Last time we met, he didn't have cats with him. This isn't gonna be easy. Spider-Man jumped down and tried to surprise Kraven from behind, but his leopards jumped right at Spider-Man. "Whoa!" Spider-Man cried, barely dodging their sharp claws and snarling jaws. "Spider-Man, haven't you heard that you can't sneak up on a hunter?" Kraven said as he commanded his beasts to attack again. But this time, Spider-Man shot webbing that covered both cats in a giant net. Holding tightly, he swung the webbed cats and tossed them directly at Kraven. "Ah!" Kraven cried as the weight of the leopards knocked him to the ground. "What's the matter?" Spider said as he swung away. "Cat got your tongue?" Spider-Man didn't have to go far to meet the next member of the Sinister Six. "Electro!" Spidey cried. "I'm shocked you remember me," Electro said as he fired several bolts of electricity directly at Spider-Man. Spidey was fast, and he quickly leapt towards the villain and landed a mighty blow. "Seems like you've lost your spark, Electro," Spider-Man joked. Next, Sandman tried to trap the wall crawler in quicksand, but Spidey outsmarted him. He covered Sandman in cement and stopped him dead in his tracks. Suddenly, the vulture swooped down from the sky and slammed into Spider-Man from behind. "Do not mess with the Sinister Six, boy," the vulture said. But Spider-Man had already flipped behind the vulture and webbed his face. "And do not hit someone from behind, old man," Spidey replied. Spider-Man landed on a nearby rooftop and scanned the area for another member of the Sinister Six. Then something hit Spider-Man hard. "What was that?" Spider-Man said, rubbing his head. "Not what was that," replied a mysterious figure behind a cloud of smoke. "Who was that?" he corrected. "Mysterio!" Spider-Man cried as the master of illusion stepped out from behind the smoke. "I've waited a long time for this moment," Mysterio said as he hovered over the fallen hero. "You always thought you were better than me, but now the world will see that Mysterio is better than Spider." "Ah!" Before Mysterio could finish, Spider-Man clobbered Mysterio and sent him flying into the air. "Did anyone tell you that you talk too much?" Spidey said as he dusted himself off. Maybe your next magic trick will be to make your voice disappear. Spider-Man had fought and beaten every member of the Sinister Six except one. And he knew where that last one was hiding. Spidey saw a mechanical arm slither into an abandoned warehouse across the street. Just as Spider-Man entered the building, his spider sense went off. He quickly turned to see a mechanical arm striking down in his direction, barely missing him. Doc Ock, Spidey said as he rolled out of the way and leapt onto the ceiling. You know, an octopus has more legs than a spider, Doc Ock said as his robotic arms thrashed all around him, ready to strike. And I am about to use mine to destroy you once and for all. Actually, spiders have 8 legs too, Doc, Spider-Man said as he fired several webs at Doc Ock's feet. Now it's time to get you back into the water, he said as he yanked the webs and knocked the mad scientist off his feet. No! Dr. Octopus cried as he fell into a large water tank that was nearby. Oh yes, Spidey said, watching the doctor's arms short circuit and stop working. So, Spider-Man said to the captured Sinister Six, what have we learned here today? Sandman, Vulture, Kraven, anybody? Spider-Man placed his hands on his hip and shook his head. Being a villain gets you nowhere. Now say it with me. Crime doesn't pay. But the villains just moaned in defeat. Sorry to run, but I have a date with my aunt's meatloaf, Spider-Man said as police cars started to show up at the scene. He leapt into the air and swung off towards Aunt May's house. But before he left, he looked back and laughed. You guys should stick around for a while. I hope you enjoyed the story, everybody. Thank you.